So first, let me introduce myself also. My name is Leo Schulte-Fenboer. I'm leading the Gain Premix facility. I'm based in Germany, working with Gain since about 1.5 years. And before that, I've also worked in the micronutrient premix industry myself as a partnerships manager and mainly organizing technical assistance projects, together partnering with UN organizations, with NGOs, and other premix producers. My background is in economics. Now I know some of you are familiar with the Gain Premix facility. Definitely the premix producers here know it, and I guess a lot of the industry participants will know it too. But anyway, let me give you a quick overview on our project. So the Gain Premix facility, or GPF for short, has been set up in 2009 for two main objectives. So firstly, we want to improve access to micronutrients. So companies, governments, also NGOs can reach out to us for procuring micronutrients. If we get such a request, we run a tender among our approved suppliers and help them to procure premix at the best possible price. And also ensure everyone in the ecosystem gets access. Also, for example, small companies in countries that are maybe not as well served sometimes. We want to make sure everyone can have us as a first contact point if necessary. And secondly, and this might be the more important part here, is we want to provide guidance on quality of premix. So what we do is we audit premix producers. It can be both micronutrient premix, it can be individual micronutrients like vitamin A for oil fortification. And we have a publicly available list of suppliers. This is online available. I'll also share the list with you later in the chat. And this list is used by World Food Program, for example, also by UNICEF. WFP makes this a requirement. If producers want to supply them with fortified foods, the premix must come from a GPF-approved source. And apart from these hard requirements, the list also gives guidance to producers of fortified foods, maybe fortified flour, fortified oil, also fortified packaged foods, to guide them on where to purchase quality premix. The suppliers speaking today, we have DSM-Firmenich here, we have Hexagon Nutrition, we have also further micronutrient suppliers in the room. I saw BASF already. These suppliers also are approved by GPF. You will find their names and the different production sites on the online list. So basically, with the Gain Premix facility, we're taking a double role in the ecosystem for food fortification. That's providing the guidance on premix, and it's also ensuring access to premix. But now it's time to move on to the breakout rooms. So we have 3 rooms for 3 different applications. And let me start with the first one, which is about fortified rice kernels and for rice fortification more general. Our speaker leading the room is Abhishek Kumar from PAF, India. And Abhishek is a public health professional. He was implementing large-scale food fortification programs across India and in Sri Lanka. At PAF, he focuses on strengthening rice fortification through policy advocacy, technical guidance, and also through multi-stakeholder collaboration. Recently, he has supported the adoption of locally produced fortified rice kernels in Sri Lanka. Then the second room will focus on the fortification of oil, sugar, and bouillon. And here we're mainly talking about pure vitamin A, which is used in its liquid form for oil fortification, in dry form for sugar fortification, and for bouillon fortification, it would typically become part of a set of micronutrients, part of a premix. Our speaker there is Abdoulaye Lo from DSM-Firmenich, who is an account manager for West and Central Africa, and also has a background in food industry and chemical engineering. The third room will focus on micronutrient premix for flour fortification. And there our speakers are Rushabh Gourdaip and Rahul Jain from Hexagon Nutrition. Rushabh is a food technologist and MBA by qualification, currently works as a corporate strategy manager at Hexagon Nutrition, focusing on the Africa region and implementing new technologies and strengthening fortification practices across the continent. Rahul is Global Business Head for Sales and Marketing. He worked on various growth initiatives and overseeing partnerships, working on solutions designed to combat malnutrition across the globe. So now you should be able to see the breakout rooms at the bottom of the screen. You might have to click on more. Now it should be available. So yeah, you can choose one of the three options. You also have the option to switch between rooms if you're interested in more than one application. And we will take you back to this main room after 30 minutes. Then we'll have a brief summary of each of the rooms. And then, yeah, start discussing questions. You can post your questions in the chat later, and we'll have a panel discussion with all of our speakers. Please choose one of the rooms now.
Mr. Kumar for room 1 just joined. Unfortunately, he had a technical issue on his side, and he's just joining as the sessions are ending. So it's over to you to see how you will manage that. But we still have about approximately 42 minutes.
Okay, yeah, many thanks. Yeah, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had interesting discussions in your breakout rooms. So what we do now is to ask everyone of the speakers for a quick summary of the discussions that took place in their room. Now I gotta ask for room 1, as I just heard Abhishek Kumar was just able to join now. I saw though that there was some discussion ongoing in room number 1. I saw a presentation from Sigachi also, a premix supplier from India. So wondering if there's would be able to give a short brief of what was discussed in the room, or if anyone else had a larger speaking role in that room and could take over to report back on what was discussed. So just a person that was maybe presenting in room 1 outside then PAF would be able to briefly summarize on the discussion.
Leo, maybe just to quickly catch up, room 1 was supposed to be Kumar from PATH, so I don't know, maybe a participant took an opportunity to just present, but it would be good that maybe you give the floor to Kumar, or you go to the other rooms to summarize before you come back to Kumar.
Yeah.
As the presentation that was done in that room was not a planned one. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, agree. I just see now, I think Kumar from Sigachi Industries was presenting. So I would suggest we go first to the other two rooms, room 2 and room 3. And then maybe if Kumar from Sigachi could give just a very brief overview on what was presented in the room. And then I think we can use this time now in the panel to put questions also to Abhishek Kumar from PAF to ask any further details on the rice fortification. But then for now, let's go to the other two rooms to start. And then we start with room number 2 on vitamin A for fortification of oil, sugar, and bouillon, which was led by Abdoulaye.
Yeah.
And Abdoulaye, could you give us like a short summary of what was discussed in your room?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Lo. So yeah, in the room 2, so I had a presentation where I cover, as you said, the vitamin A for the staple fortification, focus on edible oils, bouillon, flour, etc. And there we share as well the example of Costa Rica, where we have different staple which are fortified, but they have not hit the over fortification, because the question which come quite often when we talk about different staple food fortification. And we during my presentation, I explained as well about the upper limit, and I give as well some example of the micronutrients. So we talk about as well the return on investments, with the large scale food fortification, all those staples we mentioned. We talk about as well the quality, which is key, which as well come during the discussion. And I think the last part I covered was the handlings and the storage of the vitamins and as well the fortified product. So after that, we have a very interesting discussion where we have some questions as well as some comments. One of the questions was about the availability of the vitamin A. So we have one of our colleague from Mali, so explaining that, yeah, in Mali, it's not always obvious for the oil refineries to have access to the oil, to the vitamin A for the oil. So, and as well, we have some some suggestion on that one. So for example, how can we use the 1 gram vitamin A sachet instead of using only the 5 gram and the 25 or 20 gram is on a suggestion we take into consideration as well. We discuss about as well other ways to introduce the vitamin A in West Africa, Mali, Sierra Leone, and the likes. So we discussed as well about some myths for the bouillon cube, where our friend from Nigeria, Shuma, was talking about the fact that when you fortify the bouillon cube, we may see some tendency of people to consume more bouillon cube. And we know that in bouillon cube, we have already so many salt, you know, from the natural salt, but as well salt from the glutamate we use for the bouillon cube. And we have as well some nice comment from our friends Marco from BSF, who as well compliment me on the answers we shared it there on the bouillon cube fortification, which is not increasing at all. I was not there at the beginning, but Marco already confirmed that Sean Baker as well already touched base on the fortification and the increase of consumption. Yeah, so I think those are roughly the questions we discussed in our room. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdoulaye. Thanks for the overview on that. And I would also encourage all participants here to post your questions in the Q&A here. So you can see in the bottom of the Zoom screen, there's a new option to put in your questions. So please put them here. We'd be very interested to read, especially also from participants from the food industry here in the room, but of course from everyone, any kind of questions you might have, especially also to the speakers that were maybe not part of the room that you were joining. Please put them here and we'll have time here in the panel to discuss this. So yeah, thanks again, Abdoulaye. Then we move to room number 3, which was led by Hexagon, by Rushab and Rahul. Could you give us a quick summary about what was discussed in room number 3?
Yeah, hi, Leo. So we had a very great interactive session, and our topic was a cereal floor fortification system. So wherein we discussed about what is the fortification, like the definition, the purpose, also what are the target areas where the fortification is required. Then after we discuss about the global health impact, how the fortification is helping in reducing birth rate, I mean deficiency in anemia and birth defects and impaired cognitive development, etc. Then after we discuss about the component of micronutrient premix. So we discussed about iron, folic acid, B12, zinc, and vitamin A. And also for the cereal things, our products come in the premix comes in the powder form. Then after we discuss about the systems and process to set up a feeder into a small level or medium level of meals. So how we can install the feeder for the premix. Then after quality assurance and quality control lab setup for the real-time monitoring of the outcome of the product. Then after we discuss about the dosing, which depends country to country, and we discuss further about uniform mixing of the flour with the premix. Then after the sampling and testing things. So overall, we discuss these things. Then after my colleague Rushabh and we were there. We had some queries from the participant. The most challenging thing was how to analyze the flour after fortifying. So on this aspect, Sridhar was there from DSM, our colleague. So he briefed about a lot of things. So that's how it is.
All right. Yeah, many thanks for that summary. Sounds like there was a good discussion going on the flower fortification. Sorry, just seeing a message here. Yeah, it seems there were good discussions ongoing on the flower fortification part. Good to hear. Thank you for the summary. Again, encouraging all participants to post some questions into the Q&A so we can discuss here in the large round with Abdullah from DSM, with Rahul from Hexagon, and other suppliers also here in the room. So we can use this to address any questions you might have especially as a food producer, but also as anyone else involved in food fortification. Now I'd like to go back to room number 1. And for this, if maybe Kumar from Sigachi could start. So I was skipping between rooms. I came in during the presentation of Kumar from Sigachi. Maybe you could just give us a quick overview on what you spoke about in room number 3, room number 1, on rice fortification, and then we'll move to Abhishek Kumar from PATH afterwards.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, actually, it started with a confusion because when Mr. Vitalis asked for Kumar, I thought it's about me. So I presented about our company. Excuse me, Mr. Abhishek. So what I had presented about Sigachi Industries, about the potentials which we are having in the vitamin premix segment, and started with staple food fortification. We had moved about the sports nutrition segment as well as protein powder segment, the enhanced capacity of vitamin premix facility which we have, and started with the group has started 36 years old back, but last 3 years only we had started this new nutrition segment. We had highlighted about all these important areas where we have been covering, and it was well noted by all the people who were presented in that particular room 1. They were very much interested to know about what Sigachi is doing in particular vitamin premix segment. And in the very short span of time, we have reached out to many industry segment, not only for the staple foods, but also for the voluntary food fortification segment. So it was very interestingly noted by the people. In fact, even for the rice fortification segment, though we have not started supplying the fortified rice kernels, we have already started supplying the premix for rice fortification. That was also interestingly noted by the people who are presented in room 1. So after all, it was a very interesting presentation from my side, and it is a great opportunity to present here for a few minutes. And thank you very much for all the opportunity given.
Great, mate. Thanks for the summary. And yeah, very great that you can jump in so simultaneously. That's great if you have that at hand. You can just use
Kumar being a surname in most of the people in India, there is also one of the positive advantage.
Yeah, in this case, it seemed to have worked out well, and great to jump in that.
Excuse me, Mr. Abhishek. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all fine, Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
sir.
I think you raised a very important topic, and that's the one on voluntary fortification. So here we mainly speak about the staple foods,
Yes.
but of course, fortification can be provided also in multiple other
Absolutely,
products, in packaged foods, and you mentioned also other drink products, maybe something like porridges and so. And these foods can also play an important role in providing micronutrients to the population, as long as it's done in a meaningful way from a nutrition perspective.
Absolutely.
Especially if you talk also about overall healthy products. So of course, when we talk about sweets and maybe also energy drinks, which is
Yes.
maybe questionable from the nutrition perspective, but if you look at other foods with like a positive benefit, we can talk about dairy, we can talk about special flours, maybe infant flours. It's a very meaningful contribution. So thanks for bringing that into the discussion here too.
Yeah, thank you. We have even highlighted about the nutrition sachets, which we have recently discussed about in the market, which comes in just a 10-gram sachet with all vitamin, mineral, flavors, everything. So that was very interestingly noted by the people who are present in that room.
That's great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, on any questions also you have to Kumar from Sagachi, please put it in the Q&A. I will
Yeah.
then assign the questions to the speakers, and we can discuss in the rest of this
Sure.
plenary session.
Thank you very much.
And then now I will hand over to Abhishek Kumar from PATH and ask him to give us a brief version of the presentation that was planned for room 1 on the rice fortification. So maybe as a bit of a starter for everyone to get into the topic. And then again, also here, please post your questions in the chat, and then we can move this discussion on rice fortification a bit more to the main room. I think it's an important one for everyone, especially in West Africa, as like the upcoming potential new application for food fortification, which is very promising for the region. So over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you, actually for, allowing me to present after some confusion, but so would you like to allow me to share my screen, or shall I go in this way? Presentation is allowed for this session. So shall I share my screen?
Yes, please try to share. I hope it will work. Just try, please. Otherwise, we have to see if maybe you can send it over to
Sorry.
Vitalis.
So the one pop-up just came in, and it was asking me to select the language. So am I audible in English? That is
in English, we can hear you well in English. Yes.
Okay, then fine. Yeah. So just let me to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Now something's
Now you
happening.
can see it.
I think
It's
it's
loading.
popping up.
Yes, now it's visible. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So I will talk here about the uh, fortified rice kernel, which path is supposed to be, pioneer in the industry. And since 1997, path is as a technical partner and as a pioneer agency, we have worked across to introduce fortified rice kernel and how it could be, created, developed, manufactured in the industry. So this process is very much, new for India when we started with the social safety net programs. And once the government decided that they will start giving fortified rice to all the beneficiaries and the social safety net programs in India, we, PATH as a technical partner, was given this opportunity, and we provided lot of technical support in terms of how to produce FRK, and how quality should be maintained at each level of production. So that was the key when this was introduced. And as you can see that the premix was one of the major ingredient to produce FRK, whereas the other part was, the industry, how the manufacturing will be, established at the manufacturer level. So the major challenges was initially to ensure enough supply of premix vitamin minerals for FRK manufacture. So if I talk about 5 years, 6 years back in India, there was a very minimum premix suppliers. Now they are more than 100 suppliers in India. And also the FRK manufacturers, they are more than 600 in India at present. So this is how we bring these technology innovations, and we worked, I mean, with manufacturers, private partners, and the regulatory body, which is FSSAI in the country, to introduce this FRK and increase the production for a country like India, where more than 80 million people are receiving fortified rice, and fortified rice kernel is one of the major ingredient which is blended with regular rice in 1:100 ratio. So this is about the FRK. So FRK, I'm just trying to refer to the screen. Is the physical property about I mean the fortified rice kernel. So it's I think I don't know what the previous speakers have spoke about it. So I would will you suggest me to go through this slide, or should I skip to avoid repetition? So. Okay, so let me take you through the production process of FRK and how that extrusion technology works. So there is a pulverizer in the step 1. You can see where we use pulverizer, where the grinder grind the broken rice, and then it passes through a mixer where the all the process is done, and rice flour taken to the mixer. Then this rice mixer is mixed with vitamin and mineral premix, and in the fixed proportion, and through the RO water and vitamin mineral premix, the dough is created, and then it is passes through the next level. And in step 5, you will see that the ingredient thoroughly to form a cohesive dough. So we mix this ingredient and passes is through the extruder. So extruder is something which give this dough in the rice shape of the kernels. So there are die which make this dough into rice kernels. So this once this rice kernel is prepared, the extruder where the temperature is very important, where it is maintained, and it transfer through the extruder. Once this FRK came out of this extruder, then the rice kernel, which are very much similar to the local rice shapes, are pass through the dryer. So there are dryer in different layers, which remove the moisture and maintain the moisture percentage produced by the extruder, and convey through a multi-layer dryer. So and the temperature we maintain not more than 80%. So this is the process of making the FRK, which 1 kg of FRK is mixed with normal rice. So the final finished FRK product is mixed with the normal rice in 100:1, and this is how the fortified rice is prepared at the rice mill and the next phase I will show you here is about the how the fortified rice is prepared using FRK. So we started from premix to FRK, and now we are preparing fortified rice. So there is a fortified rice and kernel mixed in a blender, and blender maintain the ratio, the blending ratio of 100:1, and in different size of bags, it is finally packed and dispatched to the warehouses from where it is going to the government safety net program. So this is how the process, the technical process of FRK, and there are different type of blending systems which we adopted in India, and also the same thing we provided technical assistance in Sri Lanka also, where this production was made happen with the support of PATH, where we encouraged a local supplier, and we provided knowledge and technology transfer, and the same thing was done in Sri Lanka. And after India, in the South Asia region, Sri Lanka is another country where the local production of FRK is happening right now. So this is how this technology support we provided. And this is the same thing which I was talking about, where actually this blending process happened in the normal rice mills, like in the traditional way, where the paddy feeding, distoner, hulling policy and sortex applied, and after final blending, the rice is produced here, fortified rice. So now I will talk about the main important component of fortified rice and fortified rice kernel, which is the quality component, where this need to be taken very, very seriously, and it's a very important part, because the whole purpose of feeding this fortified rice to the children and the pregnant and lactating mothers and the entire family who are supposed to be anemic, and the micronutrient deficiency for which this fortified rice kernel is produced, and we are intending to reduce anemia. So the quality is very important at each and every level. So not only at the premix manufacturer.
May I ask you to try to bring the presentation within maybe the next 4 minutes to close, so we leave enough room for questions afterwards?
Yeah, sure. I'm cut short my PPT. So
Thank you
quality
so
is
much.
I will speak on the quality in the last 2-3 minutes. So FRK quality is very important at the premix, also what kind of premix they are using, it should get tested in the lab. Similarly, the FRK produce should also be the every batch get tested, and also before blending at the rice mill, the quality, it is ensured that the quality of fortified rice kernel is perfect and as per the parameter and as per the regulation, as per the standard which has been fixed by the regulatory authority. So at the distribution point, we make it sure that the fortified rice kernel, the composition of micronutrients should maintain even at the distribution level. So this is what I would like to say about FRK. And one more important thing about FRK, that we have introduced digital system for QA/QC that ensure traceability and transparency at every level of production. So this piloting we done in India, and now it has been adopted by government of India, and same thing we developed for Sri Lanka for FRK production, and the entire supply chain can be monitored through this digital application. So I will stop here, and I will stop sharing my screen.
Many thanks for this overview on rice fortification and production of fortified rice kernels. It's very interesting to see. I think a great presentation, very detailed on the production process. And I think it's quite interesting for all of us to see, as obviously the production of fortified rice kernels for the fortification of rice is quite a bit more tricky than adding the micronutrient premix to flour or adding liquid vitamin A to oil. So it's good that we're all aware of it, what it entails, and interesting to see this move forward. Many thanks for the presentation. Now I'd like to move to some questions. So we have 2 questions in the chat right now. Currently none in the Q&A. So please, if you have questions, put it also in the Q&A field. That makes it easier to manage and assign the questions. So the first, got 2 questions in the chat. First question is from Hadassah Tenge. and asking about whether additives that are added to flour and other products that can make the products lose their natural nutrients. I could just come back on this. And I think I can confirm that this doesn't happen. So if there are vitamins or minerals added to the flour, it does not affect, or other products do not affect the micronutrients that are currently in the flour. I think there might be a misunderstanding from the fact that if grains are milled to produce white flour, a lot of the micronutrients are destroyed and taken away from the product. So which makes let's say the white flour less healthy than a whole grain flour, for example, which contains more of the micronutrients. So this is something to have in mind when kind of choosing these products. But just by the process of adding additional micronutrients to a product, we do not reduce their own micronutrient content. And then the second question from Rafael Adongo. He's asking whether advertising flour is a good idea, whether it's fortified or not. And I will just comment on that and then also leave it open to our other speakers and of course other people in the room too, if there's anything to add. But to say at this point, so when we talk about large-scale food fortification, I think we can regard it as a pretty pragmatic intervention. So we're basically taking what's in the market already, what the consumers are currently consuming, which are a lot of staple foods, which is white flour, which is rice, which is edible oil. And we're just adding additional micronutrients to these products that are currently being consumed. So we're not trying to be normative in any way and recommending a higher consumption of fortified flour, but it's rather about improving the products that are currently being produced. And in that way, we can also see food fortification as a kind of an intermediate intervention. It can run in parallel to others. Food fortification is providing kind of like a safety net of the most important micronutrients, but always at the same time, we should promote the consumption of healthy foods. We don't want the population to consume more flour because it's fortified. They should still reduce, if possible, the percentage of flour in their diet and rather move towards more vegetables, more eggs, more fish, and other healthy, nutritious products. So these things can run in parallel, and we should promote these healthy foods while at the same time also fortifying the staple foods that are being consumed. On this question, anything that our speakers want to add? Anything someone else in the room would like to add to that question? If not, then I will move to the next question that just came in the chat. Many thanks for that one, from Dr. Nikita Raman Jaiswal, and asking about the most effective analytical methods for testing the quality and nutrient content of fortified rice kernels, especially if we're at the mill level. Abhishek, would you be able to reply to that question?
Yeah, sure. Can you please repeat me the question, or can you show in the chat box?
Yes.
Because I am unable to read the question.
Yeah, you can read the question in the chat. If you open the chat, then you can see the question at the bottom of the discussion. And I read it once more for everyone. The question is, what are the most effective analytical methods for testing the quality and nutrient content of fortified rice kernels, especially at the mill level? And interested in the quantitative method. I think maybe just if you could just explain a bit how these products are being tested once they're in the market with the producers.
Thank you for elaborating the question. So there are three different stages of ensuring quality in fortified rice. So it starts from the premix manufacturing level, where the premix manufacturer ensure that they are adding the micronutrient, vitamin and minerals, iron, folic acid in the quantity which is as per the permitted label and approved by the regulatory authority in the particular country. So premix is the starting point where that is the stage one. The stage two is once the FRK manufacturer start and going for producing FRK, he will ensure that the lab report, which is certificate of analysis, is well examined and have appropriate the findings, and the lab report is as per the standard. So after that, the FRK manufacturer manufacturing this FRK, now this is going next level to the rice millers, where the rice miller, before blending, because the blending ratio is 100:1, means 100 kg of rice get blended with the 1 kg of FRK. So at the rice miller's end, the first thing is the certificate of analysis of FRK, which says that the FRK standard is as per parameter, and the fortified rice, I mean the rice miller also ensure that the blending is happening in the proper method. I mean the blending ratio is correct. Where the analytical method is concerned, so that the method is designed and approved by the regulatory authorities, that which method they follow for I mean testing the micronutrient is the prerogative of the labs and the regulatory authority. So there I will not make any comment, because that is not my area here, because the other experts from the my team who looks into this area, and they closely, I mean, understand that what are the methods which used for testing of micronutrient. On the other hand, I would just like to add one more thing, that we have a rapid testing kit developed in India, and we used and we did piloting for detecting iron, and it was the method to test iron on a spot in fortified rice. So that was the rapid testing kit method we used. So other method is used by lab as per the regulatory authorities standard set by the FSSAI in India.
Many thanks for the explanation. I think that was
I
very
hope I clarified. If not, yeah,
seems
if I could not address the question, still I will get back to the person, and tomorrow I can write it back.
that sounds great. Many thanks. And we get a thank you in the chat. So it seems it was a good answer that answered the question.
Can I add a bit to here? My name is Sridhar. I work for DSM Formanish. Can I add a
Yes,
point?
please, Frida. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So what I see is Dr. Nikita is asking is at the Miller level, Abhishek. What you explained is very nice. You explained the more quantitative method. So it is basically after blending, if it is fortified rice, which is, as Abhishek said, 1:99 or 1:100. What is there today is iron test is there. It is maybe she is more referring to the quick test, which is iron is being done. And what Abhishek had told at the end is the quick testing kit is what is more important. But that only will say that yes or no. It is like in India, if it is 3 micronutrient, for iron it is there, but folic acid B12 it is still not there. So that's in the innovation pipeline. Many people are working on it. Hopefully Delhi IIT will come up with some of the answers for that. But at present it is iron, which is mostly tested across the globe, which is more as a quick test, whether iron is present in the fortified rice after blending or not. So probably she is referring that. Back to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sridhar. Yes, exactly. And as you well said, IIT Delhi is working on developing such kits where the other micronutrient can be detected. Yeah, Dr. Nikita, you want to come in, please?
Yeah, just I want to give a short and quick comment. First of all, I appreciate Abhishek and Mr. Sridhar for sharing your feedback on that. But in general, I understand that we have very good and reliable methods when it comes to the oil and flour. But whenever it comes to the rice FRK, we are still like types. We don't have any quick method. When I mean, at industrial level, yes, we have it. We have analytical methods, big setups, yes. But when it comes to the millers, especially when we talk about the medium millers, we don't have a proper solution, right? And somehow when I talk to the millers, what we come to know when it is blending, and especially like 100:1, and when it comes to consumer, they are really not aware that yellow rice is basically the fortified rice. And most of them practically throw it out, considering as that it is a misfit, or it is maybe it's infected, or it is not a good rice. So I think when we talk about rice FRK, we have to literally not just talk about the process, but also the acceptance and the awareness, like how we are, because it totally has a different approach than compared to the oil or salt or flour. I know there are challenges with all those, food products as well. But if I've seen personally, I see that with rice FRK, it is more. And why I say this, because uh, just I'll take 2 minutes, Leo. I had my PhD in rice, and I was associated with the group which developed golden rice from Pusa Institute. So I know how good that rice is. But then when it comes to the acceptance and uh, the quality assurance, I personally feel that we don't have still the methods which could be widely be used, especially to the millers, because first is the millers who have to accept those methods. And definitely I'm talking about the quantitative method, not the qualitative method, and not just one micronutrient, that's iron, but the others as well. And then at the consumer level. So that's my point of view, and that's why I raised, because I felt that Abhishek has given a very good presentation on how the process is done, how the blending is done at the industrial level. And also when it comes to the certificate of analysis, believe me, some of the millers, they are really not aware of what they're adding and what nutrients are there in what percentage. I mean, it's not your fault, but still we need to put a lot of efforts in the awareness of the process and exactly what they're doing, because once they know it, then only they can convey to the consumer that why it is important. Otherwise there will always be myths whenever it comes to the fortification, because if there is a slight change in the normal consumption, people really don't agree to accept it. They always take it as a, on the other side. So
Many thanks for that comment. I think it's very right in raising that, and it's a very big challenge now with rice fortification that is coming up more and more. I think you're aware also, of course, the situation in India with really hundreds of producers of fortified rice kernels coming up with very little approval, very little oversight. So there's quite a big risk to fortification. It's or let's say to the success of the fortification program. So we really have to make sure this will be more quality controlled in the future. So the rice kernels that the millers are actually using in the rice really bring the micronutrients that they are promising. So yeah, many thanks for that comment. Very important to make this a very strong focus in the coming years. We're coming to the end of our session. It's 4:30 GMT time now. I just want to very quickly pose one last question that we had in the chat, which was not answered yet. And this is also to Abhishek, if you could answer, on the process of FRK production. The question from M. Sachi is whether the process includes the drying system before getting the final product. If you could just come back on that question very briefly, and then we'll close the session.
I understand that the question is about the drying stages during the FRK production.
That's my understanding of the question also, yeah.
So I'm just checking the question in the chat box, but I could not find here. But anyway, so yeah, definitely the moisture is very important in FRK production, and that's why there is a different layer of dryers which ensure the proper moisture should be left at the end of the FRK productions, and that ensure that it should not float on water. Normally it happens if the temperature is not maintained as per the standard, then there is a chances of the puffed rice and it get floated on the water. So that is very important, one thing. And as a technical agency, we have done a lot of hands-on training for the FRK manufacturer, and through on-site trainings, through online trainings, and in different way we have addressed these issues of maintaining the moisture and temperature during FRK production.
Many thanks for this. Yeah, I think that is a very important point. I see there are lots of questions coming on the FRKs, and you offered already that to be available also offline for further questions. I will close the session with this. We reach our time. Actually, we're beyond our time. Thanks everyone for giving us another 3 minutes, and I might take another one just to thank everyone. So thanks for joining. Special thanks to our speakers, to Abdullaye from DSM, to our speakers from Hexagon Nutrition, Rushab and Rahul. And special thanks to Kumar from Sigachi for jumping on spontaneously, and thanks Abhishek for now giving us a very interesting oversight on rice fortification and being available for the questions. I would now invite everyone to look around at the exhibition hall and also use the time for networking. There's another half hour of the event where you can go to the different booths and speak with the suppliers and exhibitors. All right. Thank you, everybody. And wishing you a good evening and rest of the day.
Thanks, Leo. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Leo.